All ready to go here. Take a little getting used to with this bag behind me here. A little different position here. Alrighty, there's some good air I can see again. Oh, it's not a very cold day today, but I'm fully equipped here, so I am more than ready to be moving. I don't even have my face shield closed because it feels so nice having air over my face. Feels like it's about 110 in my jacket here. So hopefully you're hearing this. Last time I did have some issues with the audio, but it was working when I tested it, so hopefully we're good. Gonna do things just a little different. Worked out pretty well last time, just waiting until I got to where I hadn't already filmed to start with the 360. So I'm going to do that again today. The route we're taking for the first half of the day is almost identical to Fort Columbia's route. So I'm going to pull over here around the corner and fix my mirror. Anyway, so I'm going to wait until we get down where we have already been before I mess with the 360, because it makes humongous files, and I only have so much battery on that. Oh, crap. So, to save myself editing time and make sure I have batteries for the day, I'm gonna wait. And so I'll have the helmet camera on here just in case anything interesting comes along. I can point it out. And most of this part is probably just going to be edited out anyway, because the stretch on Highway 6 and down 101 to the border has already been in the videos, so I might try and pull a few highlights. This is the first trip I've actually taken with the new tail bag in place of the box. So when I was working on doing the service yesterday, the final pre-trip stuff, I realized that it's over top of my seat which isn't a huge thing most of the time, but when I need to take the seat off, I can't without taking that bag off where it's sitting, so I am going to have to address it for that reason, but also sorry, that truck threw a lot of wind and I got kind of that sidetracked there. Okay, I'm going to have to pull over and check out my helmet here real quick. My visor is coming loose here. So I thought I was closer to this pullout than I am. Okay. I can't see anything because it's all misted over and now it's fogging. Okay, so let's just turn her off and see what the hell's going on with my helmet here. Okay, quick first glimpse. Here's the bags. Not really going to get into them right now. I did move the camera mount here because it was right where that strap needs to go. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video since I don't know what you'll be looking at and you won't be able to hear me anyway. So I'll bring you back in a little bit. Okay, so I'm back. It's only been like 3 minutes. Crisis averted. It wasn't really a crisis, it was just a simple matter of popping the covers off of the screws on the sides and tightening them up. I haven't done anything with them. These helmets were just kind of thrown together for display, and I took everything else apart, and when I put the intercom in, and I just didn't look at the visor because it was tight. It didn't wiggle or anything, so I didn't bother looking at it. So I'm guessing what happened is they just snugged the screws up when they put it together, and they didn't put enough tension, enough torque on them so that they would stay tight, so they've just kind of vibrated loose. We'll see how it goes. I may end up having to pop the caps off and snug them up here and there. Just kind of give you an overview of what we've got here. My dry bag. This is kind of a nightmare to figure out how to mount on anything. It wasn't really intended for this type of use, so they didn't put a lot of tie downs on it. So I've got my bungee net holding it on, and then these straps are basically just to keep it from bouncing around too much. My Nelson Rigg bags, Hurricane, this can be a tail bag or a backpack. It's got back straps that go under this pad. It's all Velcro, so you pull this off, you can take the straps out. And then the Hurricane tail bag, which is in place of that big box. But as I was saying earlier, I've got to move this back. I wanted as much of it on the rack as possible, which about that much sticking off the back of it. And these back rear mounts are right at the back bar. So I don't know what I'm going to end up doing there, but you can see how far over the seat it sits. So and this is just sitting too far forward to be really comfortable, so I'm going to have to look at it later, but it's good enough for now. It's working. It's just got me a little far forward compared to what I'm used to. Here comes the morning traffic rush here. Let's get on the road again. Now I gotta start all over with my visor and glasses. Oh, of course, I come right here where there's 350 big potholes. Okay. Carefully here. Gravel and holes are fun for bikes. Shows up on the camera, but you can see over there where the cloud level is. This area we do have a fairly frequent street level cloud layer. That's when you get that mist like we were driving through when we started out. Okies. Ooh, even better. Trying to pick exactly where I want to stop because I want to be in the sun. Oh, and I was totally wrong on the whole assessment of hoping that the road grime wouldn't be bad because the rain had washed the roads free, but hopefully there's not a lot of road salts and crap in there. That crap is just horrible for anything it's on. Okay. I'll even take my keys out because it's so much harder to steal them when they don't have the key hanging on the damn thing. This is where the zipper is. It has this nice neoprene protector And they added this extra flap. I don't know if they meant it to cover the lock, but it works well for it. And then, oh, works better with the right key, I'm sure. And then, so it's got nice pockets in there, so I can get to all my stuff. Here's Cody, she's riding along. Not quite the same as it was when she was riding along in her carrier, but she's still with me, so. It's got these nice little tie downs on the sides of the bags. They added a ring to them, which works great for putting your lock. So if you forget it, then at least it's still with you. But yeah, this is the Hurricane tail bag and backpack. Riding for a while now, things have kind of settled and shifted, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten up my straps. They have these nice straps on here. Let me just wipe this off, make sure I'm not talking through a bunch of mud. They go through and then hook on here. I can show you on here how those are. They're like that. So you can just hook them on themselves, and then they have a loop on the other side, so you loop them around and then hook them back to themselves on the buckle. And then these are both dry bags. This is like a typical dry bag. It's got the roll down top. You let the air out, which is one thing this dry bag doesn't have, and it drives me nuts sometimes. Trying to stuff it down and get the air out while you're rolling it up is almost impossible. But those are the Nelson Rigg Hurricane series. This is the Adventure, I believe. They have different names. They have a smaller one of these. I think this one was, they call it the Adventure, or the Dual Sport as the other one, I think. And then this is, like I said, the Hurricane tail bag backpack. It's got eyes in the straps here for these, so you can lay it on the tail and strap it down. Or you can, like I said before, it's got the backpack straps in here. You pull them out and put this back. It's got padding for wearing it. Then this is just kind of a quick access stuff. It's got a waterproof clear patch and netted pocket in here. So you just undo these. I've got my knife and my Gerber and maps in there. And it's got a pocket for your fuel can, which in my case is my coffee. So it's a little warm, but it leaks. All the heat it's leaking is in this cap. And you can replace this with a regular thermos cap, but it was $30 or some crap, so I didn't. But I'm going to use the restroom here, and then we'll find out how well that insulated and protected my coffee from getting cold. And I've got breakfast. It's in a Larabar box, but it's not. There's some Larabars in there, but that's not what my breakfast is. It's just I put it all in the box to kind of keep it from getting mushed. But as you can see, it's not quite as big as the box. This is my camera gear. This is my still camera. I'll be using that in a minute. I want to take a picture of these bags and stuff on the bike, and I'm going to have you guys sitting through all that, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera, go do that, have my breakfast, and then bring you back and we'll hit the road. Okay, Well, welcome back. We are done with our breakfast. Everything's good to go. Just wanted to kind of highlight again the new bags. Same brand as the rain gear. Got my cover also in here. We'll check that out later when we get parked for the day. So now I'm going to get the camera mounted up on the bike here. Get my gloves on and we will hit the road again. Hopefully you're getting this audio. Won't know until I get done today and check it out. So let's get on the bike and get going. I don't remember turning off the kill switch. Apparently I did. So it didn't go into a stone cold thermos, and it was perfect drinking temperature here after around 2 hours. So 4 hours, your soup would be warm. I just upset my GPS by I'm going back over to the road to turn out instead of pulling out of the driveway because we're a little close to that curve. What are you talking about? Sorry, it's confused. And by confused, I don't mean it's trying to figure out where to go. I mean it doesn't know where we are. Somebody is burning some funky stuff here. Whew. Smells like the morning after the 4th. Okay, so now we're back on the road, and what I was talking about before was this driveway right here is pretty close to that curve. So I just came around to the road so I could get a little better sight line. And now we're going to come up here. This part of the road we've seen before on our trip to Fort Columbia. Somewhere along here I pulled over to check on the camera mount and stuff. I think it was this one right here actually. I think that was it. But today, instead of going through the light and up to Fort Columbia, we're going to go ahead and take a left across that bridge. Sorry, I just realized I'm still going across that goddamn bridge, and I don't like bridges. But anyway, we're going to take a left and go across the Columbia and down through Astoria and along the coast, heading to a town called Garibaldi. Is where I'm going to be staying for the night. And at this point, you've probably already seen it. I don't know. I won't know until I cut the video together. But anyway, if I don't space out and forget to do it when I get to my hotel for the night, and I can lay out the maps, I'll kind of trace out the route, what we've done so far and what we'll be doing yet today, and kind of go over the road trip, so you have the overview of it. I couldn't do it this morning because my maps are already in the bag, and going across state lines and 2 maps, and I'm going to have to lay them out, and I didn't really have anywhere to do that in the garage or on the way this morning, so I'm just going to do it when I get to the hotel for the night, and I'll probably just lay them out on a bed, and then we can follow the whole route. So what we have right now is this fog kind of hanging right at the water level. This is the Columbia. If you missed the last video, Fort Columbia is right up here on the right, probably 3 miles up, 4, somewhere in there. So this is the end of the Columbia River, and the air coming off of the water is on the chilly side, so it's kind of, that's this weird fog layer because the sun's up here heating and this is cold, and it's got this nice little cloud that we're driving through, so I keep getting thermal cycled. So right now I'm in the sun and I'm getting warm. Then we'll come around and we'll hit a piece of that cloud and it's cold and it's wet. See, now I couldn't remember what side of the bridge this was on. That's why I stopped back there, because my initial plan was to just come park here, use the bathroom and have breakfast, but I couldn't remember if it was past the bridge or not, so I changed my mind. And like I said, my map's packed. I could have got it out and looked and decided, but didn't really make any sense, since at that point I was already stopped to have breakfast. So just kind of in the fog there, you can see the bridge. That's where we're going. Hopefully somebody's at the light. Last time I had to run it on the red because it wouldn't change. I need to find, I had it written down, and it might be in my pack of stuff for the bike, but it's actually in the law here in Washington that you can run the red light on a motorcycle after 2 cycles. Because mostly it's the older traffic sensors, but they don't always pick up motorcycles, and last time it didn't. So it's 2 cycles. After 2 cycles, if it doesn't change, you can go. My problem with that is that if there's no other traffic, how do you determine a cycle? Because some of them, like this one, oh, this time it picked me right up. It must have a newer sensor in the turn lane. But yeah, I've been stuck at intersections before where there was no cycle on its own. Oh, this is fun. I can't even see because we're right in the cloud. I don't know how well that shows up. I can just barely make out that truck right now. 100 feet, go on the bridge. I'm on the bridge. How could I go anywhere but on the bridge? GPS can be funny without even trying sometimes. Okay, here we go. There we are. Glad I didn't miss that one. That was an important one. Whew. Man, this cloud is thick as hell. Just constant. Wipe, wipe, wipe. I can't even see. There could be a goddamn building 200 feet in front. I can't see anything. And of course, we have the people here that don't understand that their lights are not just for them. So, like this idiot here with no goddamn lights on. Turn your lights on, idiot. And if you missed the last video, I nearly had an interaction with one that didn't bother to turn their lights on for the tunnel at Fort Columbia. And it was like a dark blue or black car in a dark tunnel. Unfortunately, there was a car coming the other direction that I had to wait for, because if that car hadn't been there, I would have gone 50 feet in front of that guy doing 60 miles an hour. curious about this is I don't have to look around. I know I'm on a bridge, but I don't have to have it shoved in my face. I mean, aside from the fact that I can look right there and there's water. I'm not sure how deep that water is, and I'm not sure how well I would be able to swim in my gear. And again, I mentioned this before, but I don't know if it made it in a video. I don't have a problem with heights. I do have a problem with human engineering, of which bridges are created. I'm just as uncomfortable in skyscrapers. Occurred to me that 360 might just be totally missed it over and completely blind right now on the front. Doing 40 on the bridge. I don't know if I'm moving fast enough to keep it clear. Certainly not my face shield. This way in a very long time. The last time I drove down into Oregon, I was on the other side over there out of Longview, and here we're above the cloud mostly. I don't know if you could, I don't know how well the cloud shows up on the camera. Oh, it stinks right here. But we're going back down into it here. Smells like somebody with a very bad catalytic converter floored it right there. The unfortunate part about that is your catalytic converter will clearly display for you that it is getting clogged up and fouled long before it becomes a problem. The downside is that it's only telling it to the people behind you. this purple thing over here. Okay, so we'll squirt some gas in here. Chrysler. Okay. Okay, come on. I can't even tell I just washed my bike. Okay. So we're at 3210. And I forgot to do the trip odometer last time, I think. Let's see, which one is it? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. 128.7. It's the 26th. I think. 25th, I'm not sure. And what do we have? 61.3 miles a gallon. because they don't have any indicator on the battery itself. Now I have 4 batteries. So what I have at the moment is I have 1 dead battery, 2 good batteries, and 1 in the camera. And no way to differentiate the ones that are in the box. Okay, so starting recording. Okay, well, I don't know if you can see any of that down there. It does look like there's less stuff on my exhaust with that fender, but there's the ocean right down there. I don't know what this camera's picking up, how much of that fog and cloud is visible in the picture, but I can make out the ocean down there. Hopefully you can see something. I was really hoping for a nice clear view, not like clear weather, but clear, able to see, even if it were raining or whatever, but so far that's not working out like I hoped. The nice thing is there's always tomorrow. So hopefully if it doesn't show up here today, it'll be clear in the morning. You guys are getting a good view of that. That is pretty today. That was worth it right there. All the clouds, all of it. It was just worth it. Yeah. And later this year we'll be doing the same thing up the other side of the state line, going north along the coast. Forks is almost as far away from me as, actually, now that I'm running the numbers in my head, it's further away from me to go to Forks in Washington than it is to go to Tillamook in Oregon. It's actually closer to go back to Yakima than it is to go to Forks from where I'm at, but that's in the plans. Someone I know is eager to see Forks, so I haven't been there in a long time. Probably looks nothing at all like I remember it. I think I was still in grade school the last time I was there. But yeah, it's like a 4-hour ride. So I'll probably be doing something similar when I do make that trip. I'll either be doing an overnight, going there, staying, doing some sightseeing, and then coming back, or depending on what I can find in the area, I might do a couple couple of days and spend a day there just sightseeing and visiting places locally, and then come back, which is what I did in Yakima, but that was before I started all this, so I don't have any of that for the channel. About the paving because it's not happening right now. Good. So, depending on, we stopped there on the last trip. I recognize that place. Yeah. Anyway, I was saying that probably stop and do our shopping in Tillamook. I think they have some actual grocery stores. Well, how am I supposed to turn right in 1,000 feet if I arrive after I do it? GPS just told me 1,000 feet, turn right, then you'll arrive. Well, how am I supposed to do it if I'm not there yet? Okay. Oh, man. It's a neat old train. Historic train rides. Huh. This is where I'm going right here. Great. That means I'm gonna have to try and get out of here in that mess. And then get back in. Great. So nice to know in advance. Ugh.